My name is Geet. To tell you a little bit about myself, I am an engineer. I also have a Juris Doctorate in law. I used to work in the US at a really big company, but I left that to come to India to work with slum children and at-risk youth. I currently run a motivational page on Facebook, and the cool thing about that is that it's grown from 0 to 1.5 million likes in less than 6 months. I have won a beauty pageant, actually more than one. I am a dancer. I'm an aspiring actress. And as you can see, I'm in a wheelchair. A lot of you might be wondering, I can't do this, I'm sorry. I can't. I've said it, you've said it, we've all said it, we've felt it, we've believed it, we've let it hold us back. I was only 10 years old when the car accident happened, and doctors said I would never be able to walk again. I'd never be able to feel my legs or move them. I used to just sit and cry for hours. And after the accident, every time I needed to learn something new, my first thought was, I can't. It was so much easier to say, I can't, and to not even try, than to actually try and keep trying until I learned how to move my chair with my hands. I learned how to get dressed sitting down. I learned how to transfer from my wheelchair to the bed, from my wheelchair to the car, from my wheelchair to the toilet without standing up. Until I learned how to face the stares, the whispers, the pitying looks. I felt like my life was over. My dreams were shattered. I was never going to be able to be anything. I was never going to be able to do anything. It would have been so easy for me to just say, I can't, and to just give up on life altogether. But I didn't. Instead, just 3 months after the accident, I went back to school. I ran for student elections. I became student body president. I danced on stage. I participated in the school play. I even participated in sports day activities, seated in this wheelchair. I can't. It is the beginning of every regret. It is the end of all hope. It is the universal excuse to not even try. You know, I was just a teenager, and I actually, through some sort of a mix-up, I received an invitation to try out for a beauty pageant. Now, like all little girls, I think I had the silly dream of wanting to be a beauty queen. But I knew that it wasn't possible. I can't. So I actually called up the pageant director and I said, I'm in a wheelchair. He didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to do. Who'd ever heard of a girl in a wheelchair winning a beauty pageant? But I tried anyways. And I became the first person in the world to win a beauty pageant where the other girls were not in a wheelchair. Don't say it, don't feel it, don't believe it, and do not let it hold you back. I was always a class topper, but after 12th standard, when it was time for me to go to college, the thought of attending university seated in this wheelchair with the sprawling campuses and thousands of students scared me beyond imagination. I mean, how was I going to go from classroom to classroom, from building to building? But I went anyways. And I ended up graduating at the top of my class with a degree in engineering, and I went on to get my Juris Doctorate degree with highest honors. I can't. I did not say it. I chose not to feel it. I refused to believe it, and I did not let it hold me back. after that, I started working for a company. I worked for actually a really big company in the US. But my life, I just had one goal in life. I wanted to make a difference. I wanted to change the world. And so I think that's why I switched from engineering to law, was because I thought that as a lawyer, I could actually help people. And I did that for a while. I did a lot of cases for free for people who couldn't afford it. But it wasn't enough. So I started to volunteer at schools, hospitals, community centers, a juvenile jail. But it still wasn't enough. So then I finally decided to give up my promising career in the US and to move back to India to work with slum children and at-risk youth. And I haven't looked back ever since. In a world where people look at me and they think I'm the one that needs help, I have dedicated my life to helping others. Why? Because I can. People ask me, what is your inspiration? My inspiration is you. My inspiration is the thousands of people around me. Actually, one of the things I really like to do is I like to travel around and I like to meet different people and then just interview normal people and find their story out and find that inspiration in their story and then share it with others. That's one of the things I do on my Facebook page. And through that, all these interactions with different people, I have come to realize that there are 8 major reasons that people tend to believe I can't. I can't because it's too difficult. I can't because there are too many setbacks, too many obstacles. I can't because I tried and I failed. I can't because I'm too old or too young. I can't because I'm not rich enough. I can't because I'm not good enough. I can't because he or she said so. I can't because I'm just an ordinary person. Today I'm going to share with you the story of 8 people who refuse to say I can't. And if you choose to remember these stories throughout life, if there ever comes a time where you think you have a reason that you can't, you're going to realize that you can. Akshansh Gupta, he is 95% disabled. Because of cerebral palsy, he can't use his legs. Even when he speaks, you can't understand him. He recently graduated with a PhD from Jawaharlal Nehru University in brain-computer interface. Difficult does not mean impossible. Mansi Joshi, she was a badminton player. She was hit by a truck. Her leg had to be amputated, but she didn't give up. She is today a national level athlete. She just won a silver medal at the World Para Badminton Championship. Setbacks are normal. They're part of the process. Ritesh Goya, he started a textile chemical factory. Failed. He started a stone cutting factory. Failed. He started manufacturing and selling washing powder. Failed again. He started a stock market business. Again, failed. But today he's the owner of a multi-million-dollar business that takes waste products and it recycles them into manufactured goods. Failure is not failure unless you let it become final. Falling down is not failing. Refusing to get up after you fall down, that is failure. As long as you get back up, you can. Bagheera Singh. He was almost 60 years old when he decided he wanted to make a difference. So he decided he was going to campaign against tobacco, pan masala, drinking, smoking, and he just took a backpack to Indian flags and started walking across India. He has been walking across India ever since. 21 times he was walked across all of India campaigning for his mission. He's 81 years old. He hasn't gone back since. Age is not a barrier. As long as you're alive, anything is possible. Pratima Devi. She is a rag picker who lives in one of the parking lots here in Delhi. And for the past 45 years, she has been feeding 400 stray dogs every single day, single-handedly. Money is not an obstacle. Om Prakash Yadav. When his school van caught on fire, the driver ran away. Om Prakash pulled 8 children out of the burning van. He was only 11 years old. You are good enough. You are stronger than you know, and you have more to offer than you could ever imagine. Anuradha Koirala. She has saved 12,000 women from sex slavery and 45,000 women and children from being trafficked over the India-Nepal border. Despite the fact that she gets death threats every single day, despite the fact that people tell her, you can't do this, she continues on with her mission. Haters are going to hate. Don't let their words change your destiny. They're not in charge of your future. You are. Shrikant Gola. He was born blind. His parents are uneducated. He is in his early 20s, but he is the CEO of a Hyderabad-based company that is worth 50 crore rupees. There are no excuses. You can. A lot of you, or maybe none of you, might be aware that I have a dream. My current impossible dream is to become India's first wheelchair actress. My acting journey started actually when I was a really little girl. I would just act at the dinner table. And then I started taking every single acting class I possibly could, started acting in school plays until the 12th grade, when one of my teachers suggested that a girl in a wheelchair should never be on stage. Haters are going to hate. Unfortunately, I chose to believe her. And slowly, for years, I stopped acting, until about 2 years ago, when I saw an ad on TV for an acting reality show. It was a reality show for actors. And my sister convinced me, you gotta at least try. And to my surprise, week after week, I began to clear audition after audition. For the first time in years, I realized that I really can act. I am good enough. After clearing several auditions, I made it to the top 75 in a country of 1 million people. My story was shown on national television. And then came the Bollywood dance round. Sitting in my wheelchair, I danced my heart out. But the judges said it wasn't good enough. They said I couldn't dance. But you know what? I'm not going to let my failure become final. I'm going to get right back up again. Since then, I've been working hard, honing my dance skills and my acting skills. And about 6 months ago, I started a Facebook page just to see if the audience even wants to see a girl in a wheelchair on stage or in a movie or in a serial. And to my surprise, in less than 6 months, 1.5 million people have liked my page, have supported me and said, we want to see you on the silver screen. 1.5 million people. You know, but the sad thing is that even now when I tell people I want to be an actress, their first response is, you know, they'll watch me and they'll say, you're actually really good. But have you thought about production or direction? Because it's still really hard for people to imagine a girl in a wheelchair as an actress. But you know what? I am determined to make it a reality. 2 words.